Trekker. Go, Flat Trekker, go, go, go.
The Kelpi Fat Track Pod, brought to you by Kelpi, affordable race products designed to help you stay on track. Now onto the episode.
Hey guys, welcome to another Kelpi Flat Track Pod. This pod will all be about Bathurst, the road trip we've just been on last weekend. It's been a pretty full-on week, chasing my tail once again, but here we are. I've actually just got off a couple hours with Brendan McCoward and James Davies. It gets a little bit silly, me trying to figure out how to screen share and that sort of thing, but we sort of figured it out now, and there was a couple of things I wanted to do during the chat with those boys, and so now I can do it. I wanted to talk about, I'll just read out the place getters. I hope it's not too boring for you, but I know everyone that was there was a lot of competitors, a lot of classes that did race and race your asses off to get into just even the top 10. Would love to hear their names read out and get a bit of recognition. Well done to everyone. I wish I could read out everybody, but obviously that will take hours and hours. This is probably going to take a little bit anyway. I did say to Brendan in the pod, I'll just do the top 5, but looking at it, I sort of, I don't know, there's something inside me that just says do the top 10. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just sharing the screen now, I hope. Yeah, there we go. So Bathurst Long Track Masters, fantastic event, New South Wales. I'll start from the start with the 252 strokes, a little bit of lag, sorry. Guys, there was actually quite a bit of lag when we were talking as well. James and Brendan are both in sort of far out places, I guess. I'm not blaming theirs. It could have been mine too, but usually mine's pretty good, so I ain't blaming theirs. Anyway, so 252 stroke. Final points was number 1, Rory Hutchison, Paul Edwards, Andrew Smith, Thomas Scott, Corey Croser, Kenny Angel, Patrick Coleman, Aaron Shepherd, Luke Will Smith, Jade Porter, William Whitman is in 11th. I've gone too far, I've got carried away, I can't do that, or we'll be here all night. But so that's your top 10, the 252 stroke class. Women's Open, stacked field of women. It was so good to see a full grid, really good. I had a couple riders in there riding for Kelpi, 2 development riders actually, first long track for both of them, and really proud of them. But the overall winner was Briony Hendrickson, followed by Amy King, Taylor Street, Brooke Pollock, Kelsey Jensen, that's a Kelpi rider. Well done, Kels. Well done, all the girls. Laura Saxon, 6th. Molly Fowley, 7th. Shannon 5, Brianna Etheridge, and Lisa Collier. So they're your top 10 women from Bathurst. Well done to all the riders. I'm only reading out the top 10 just to save a bit of time, which I was told that's too much anyway. But hey, it's my pod. I'm going to do it. So 250cc 4-stroke, getting a little bit more momentum here, guys. Taking out first place, Cody Lewis, Angus Hutchinson, James Sorty, Kristen O'Donnell, Clay Clegg, Cooper Gills, Liz Tyne, Jake Mitchell, Cooper Williams, and Zach Glazebrook. Sorry if I don't pronounce your names right, guys, but they were the top 10 in the 254 stroke. Massive effort. Like, as you can see, this is painting the picture how big the event was. Most events had another, at least another 12 riders in it. So the hooligans, there was a few less hooligans, but the big twins aren't a big thing here in Aussie yet. They're getting more and more. Let's say there was 11 riders. So taking that out was Kenny Angel, Damien Bromberti, Christian O'Donnell, which is, I'll just mention with O'Donnell, he was on a Chinese bike, a CF Moto CX 700, I think they are. They came out with the slipper clutch and everything. I reckon they make a real cool twin, and I reckon you could make a class of them, and they're pretty affordable. I think they're around 7-8 grand new. So I just wanted to mention that one because I think that's something that might have been overlooked. So fourth, Justin Steele. Fifth, Murray Pedley. Justin Brambardi again. Shane Richards. Seventh, well done, mate. Darren Saxton. Cade James. Ninth, and Andrew Smith. And I'm just because it was only 11, David Butler. So that's your top guys there. Well done to all of them taking those big bikes around that track. Anyone that from America or anywhere else that rides a twin, I'm sure you understand and appreciate how hard it is. So 85cc 150 4-stroke, 85cc 2-stroke 154 stroke 9 to under 13s. Good to give the juniors a mention. I want to do a bit more junior stuff and talk to some juniors. Could be tricky because nerves and all that sort of stuff. Number 1, Sam Drain, 2 Page Jake, Taylor Howard, Hugh Hodgetts, Nico Donovan, Jed 5, Cooper Antone, Lockie Duncan, Cage Cower, and Hugo Holmes. So there's your top 10. There was 28 riders in that class. That's 85, 159 to under 13. Good job, guys. And girls, and like I said, sorry if I get your name a little bit wrong. It's the first time I'm reading. I haven't practiced this. So long track sliders up to 500 cc's. Jordan Dale taking out the top spot, followed by Jack Morrison, James Bevan, Harrison Griffin, Harrison Ryan, Julian Bombardi, Shane Baker, Sean Welsh, Taylor Street, and Lawson Black. That's your top 10. Great field of sliders, 26 sliders all up. So that's fantastic to see. I've been to a couple of events where they, put special classes in for sliders and you get 4 or 5 turn up. So it was great to see that many bikes there. Pre-90 class was pretty exciting. Had our rider Jared, Brendan McCallett in there on the MTR 500. MDR provide Brendan the bike, and an awesome bike it was, but didn't quite get him there. That day was taken out by Daniel Wicks, Corey Banks, Paul Edwards, Thomas Scott, then Brendan McCallett, Matthew O'Regan, John Ewing, and Steve Mason, Ross Merrick, and Darren Saxon. So well done, guys, taking out that pre-90s class. Pre-90s classic, they call it. Just make sure I didn't miss anything there. No, unlimited 2-stroke. Thomas Herrick taking that one out, and he did ride awesome all day. Brendan mentions that a bit later on. And Damien Cope second, Daniel Wicks, Timothy Darmy, Lee Hunter, Derek Seam, Kenny Angel, Scott Brown, Jared Cox, and Thomas Scott. 22 riders in that class, but that's your top 10. It was unlimited 2-stroke. So we're almost there. Long track slider Evo. So we are a flat track podcast, mainly DTX, but these guys were included in the event. I don't want anyone feeling missed out. So number 1 spot in the Evo class was Matthew Davies, second Ricky Shaper, Shane Baker, Bradley Black, Alan Patterson, Alan Jones, Brendan Little, Mark Collins, and Christopher Steep. So just going as quick as I can so there's no big gaps in the middle. Now, if you can see, so if you're watching on YouTube, just check the 450 class out, would you? Frickin' it. So, we'll go right to the final points. Skip the replicharge. Well done to everyone that made it into the final. And then into the top 10, starting with Jarrett Brook on the number 1 step, Fashion Well, Daniel Wicks, Ben Grabham, Reed Beatty, Harrison Ryan, Damien Cope, Dale Borlas, Caden Downing, and in 10th spot, Mackenzie Childs. So there were, I was way down in the 60th something, 79 riders in that class. So yeah, to get into the top 10, what an effort. Real aggressive racing as you'd expect in a 450 class. 21-18, most riders were on. I think there was a few on there in 21-19s and a couple of 90-19s. So junior 250, 125, 13 to under 16s. Brody Page on the top split, Rory McCulter, Jaden Holder, Thorin Openshaw, Jet Carter, Lachlan Russell, Noah Grabham, Alexander Adamson, Michael Price, and Braden Bradford, the top 10. Junior 250, a lot in there too, 28 riders. So yeah, and those kids blow my mind. Yeah, I can't wait to see them as older riders when they go senior. Our next generation, the closest next generation. Dirt track sidecars. Now this one's a special mention for Tom North. As he said to me, we don't talk about these guys enough. And on that too, a lot of events we go to, especially in Victoria, we don't get the sidecars, so that's probably why I don't talk about them that much. But on the top step was Corey Ford and Darren Friederstein. I hope I'm saying that right, guys. Corey Banks, Tom Banks, Jim Jobling, Tom Northey. So that's for third. Fourth, Jack Grosser and Corey Crosser. Fifth, Jared Marco, Sean Fuller. Sixth, Kia Framed, Michael Bryant. Seventh, Matthew Kelly, Anthony Martin. And eighth, Trevor Harvey, Tommy White. Ninth, Samantha O'Malley and Brendan Denzel. And 10th, Chad Mahogan, I think, and Darren Russell. So 18 side cheers. That's awesome to have 18 side cheers at any event, I think. And as we mentioned a bit later on, I think personally it was one of my favourite photos that Nick Picks from New South Wales took. There's a swinger hanging off the side chair. It's bloody awesome. Second to last class is the old boys class. Actually, sorry, third to last. I think the 19s is down the bottom. So Ben Grabham took that one out. Joshua McCosker, Andrew Fleming, Tim Darmany, Jason Morris, Scott Brown, Greg Black, Mitch Wolf, Darren Webb, and Paul Harris. So that's your top 10. And that's a huge class, 39 of us. So yeah, that's massive. And I got 20th in that. So yeah. Sorry, I actually hadn't taken any notice of that before. So yeah, halfway down the field, and I was quite struggling off the starts at that start of the night, and started getting my feet a little bit. So that probably helped me creep up the ladder there. 40 and over, Bathurst Unlimited, which was treated like the feature, which usually the 450 sort of takes that honour. So on the top step was Harrison Ryan, Jared Brook in second, Cushion Whale in third, Ben Grabham, Daniel Wicks, Damien Cope, Cody Lewis, Reed Beatty, Katie Gowan, Luke Bush in 10th. And how many riders did we have in there? 58 riders. So yeah, massive effort just to get into the top 10. Not just to get into, but to get into the top 10. Man, yeah, massive effort by all the riders, just being as competitive as you can be and doing the best you can. You should be really proud. Awesome field, 58 riders. So what happened with the flat track 19 class, there was a 5-minute qualifier. It actually ended up being 2 or 3 of them. I got a little bit confused myself about how it worked, but anyway, so that split us into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. but yeah, it was treated at the prize given as one event. So the top 10 in Group A. So on 19-inch wheels, so American flat track tyres, was Jared Brook, Thomas Herrick, Daniel Wicks, Kyson Whale, Reed Beatty, Edward Grabham, Zane Kinner, Harrison Maxwell, and Matthew Davies. So that was the first group. Second group, sorry about the delay there. My brain, I'm not very good at multitasking. So Group B, and this is the last one, so I'm almost put you out of your misery. So on the first step for Group B was Christian O'Donnell, Mackenzie Booth, Darcy Claver, that's me, Michael Booth, Lee Hunter, Corey Booth, Rob Griffiths, Daryl Mellon, Shane Richards, and Katrina Robinson. So yeah, awesome effort by everyone. I think I got Mick on count back there because I got third in the last race. So yeah, if you tied it, you can see there we were both tied on 72. So it's the person that scored the best position in the last race, and that was me, fortunately. So that was pretty good effort. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, so that's your results. Top 10 of each class, heaps of riders. Yeah, I think it was up around the 250, 280, somewhere around that. And yeah, we had a ball. Yeah, really hard racing. It's always hard traveling and learning new track, and yeah, it all sort of goes in a flash, and then you get home and you're knackered, and a week later you sort of go, oh, that happened. Yeah. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is we'll get into the pod with James and Brendan. James Davey up in Queensland. We talked to him at the Vic Titles. Had a bit of an interview with him that split into two, and yeah, Brendan McCowett, my racing buddy and neighbour, has finally joined us tonight, which is great. So yeah, there's a bit of lag, so sorry about that. It's just a pain in the ass, and yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a tag on too with some of the stuff. A couple of little interviews that I did at Bathurst. It was really hard to try to get anything together without a cameraman, doing it all yourself and racing, and pretty much it was my own crew. I had Shane help me out a couple of times, Brendan helped me out, Zane too. But yeah, I sort of had to be on the ball, and if they saw me, they'd come over and help them. But you changing between wheel sets and stuff, it was sort of tricky. It would have been good to have a paid spanner man, so to speak. But you know, we got through it, and it was great learning experience, and yeah, felt like that I did quite a bit better on the American tires, which was bizarre, but you know, that's what worked for me that night, and it was awesome. So anyway, let's get into the next bit of the pod. Enjoy. So sorry about that, guys. I was a bit behind and disorganized. So we got James Davies up in Queensland. So it was at 6:30 there. I forgot. I put it Canberra time, and then I went, shit, you're a couple hours behind us.
No, we're only an hour behind, so it's only 7:30, so that's all right.
Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, and we've got finally got Brendan McCowett on again. It's been a while. I sort of I took a little bit of footage over the weekend, and you sort of appear in that a little bit, but I haven't done any editing. I sort of thought maybe we could look at some of it. I figured out sort of how to share my screen.
Oh yeah, cool.
And so I thought we might have a look at my laps and stuff as well.
Sick.
Yeah, and talk about Bathurst and talk about what's going on with James. Just got out of the gym pumping some iron, or were you doing lots of cardio? What are you focusing on?
No, just as not racing for much anything anymore, just trying to get a bit bigger and a bit stronger, really. So I only do cardio maybe like once or twice a week, and if that, it's still pretty high intense, like trying to get stronger. So, but yeah, more tonight we did more shoulders and arms, and tomorrow I'll probably do legs after work, and that'll finish me off for the week.
Oh, have you got a personal trainer, or it's all just stuff you've done in the past, or?
Nah, just me and my best mate, who's also my mechanic for Speedway. We go together almost every night of the week, and we just kind of go as we. A lot of the stuff that we do, I've found like on TikTok from trainers, and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. We'll throw that in, and just
Yeah.
make up kind of thing as we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I see it must there must be some, I don't know, digital algorithm or something that picks up how old I am, and I keep getting these old man do this, don't do that things. So I've been doing them, and I reckon they actually, yeah, they're helping the old man.
As long as you get something out of it.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, pick it up from wherever and give it a go and see how your body reacts. I did boxing when I was younger and lots of weights and stuff, and I sort of know what my body reacts well to. So,
Yeah.
but it has changed a little bit in the last couple of years. Like, yeah, there's flabby bits that never used to be flabby, and it doesn't matter what I do; they seem to stay like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess taking pointers from the professionals is probably the way to go.
Yeah, that's it.
What about you, Brendan? You got your bikes washed, or?
Yeah, yeah, just tonight. So it took a little bit longer than I thought, but yeah, got there in the end.
He's lying. He's lying.
No, I did. I got there.
He's
Yeah.
had a shower and went to bed. Look at him.
No, I wish. No.
Yeah, no, my bike's still dirty. You dropped it off. It was last night, wasn't it?
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're shattered, James. Like that journey, that trip is, knocked us both out, I reckon.
Good drive, isn't it? It's a really good drive.
Honestly, the drive back was fine, but because we didn't get back to the house until like 2:30 or something in the morning, had a few hours sleep, and then had to leave at 10, and then drive all the way back. It just
so for the people that joining in, we did Bathurst, which was all over the internet, so you should have seen it if you're into flat track racing and long track racing. And so we actually went to Brendan's, I'll call them in-laws, on Thursday night, slept there.
My parents.
No,
it's my parents' house.
And when?
Oh, no, yeah, I thought you meant, yeah, right.
No, see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm tired.
So we got to Wang. We slept there. Thank you to Taylor's parents, Rita and Lenny. We stayed there the night. Got up. Was it 4:30 or something? We got up.
Yeah.
We got there like 10:30. Got up at 4:30. Got to Bathurst at 12:30. Did practice. Got back to the accommodation about midnight. I think it was 11:30 or something.
Pretty late. Yeah.
It was pretty bloody late. Got up at 6:30. Went to the track. Raced for 18 hours. Got home at 1. Went stupidly. Someone was hungry. We went to McDonald's. We got there at 1:30. Just about everyone had bought McDonald's there, and we got back to the accommodation 2 a.m. Got up at 9 a.m. Got back in the car and drove 10 hours. So that's why we're shattered. It's not really the drive; it was all the lack of sleep in between.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever done much of that because Dad always drove, so I was just sleeping in the passenger seat.
Yeah, we took turns.
Yeah,
we took turns driving. We're real lucky that Shane, Brendan's dad, was with us, so he drove a fair bit. I drove a little bit. Brendan drove a little bit, but I couldn't really sleep in the car. Like, it's too busy looking at photos and
especially on the way back.
Yeah, and just I don't know. I didn't feel I was awake. I didn't feel like sleeping then, but boy, I did when I got home.
Oh
Yeah.
So I'll do it again next year, though.
Yeah. We're going to be doing it a few times this year. That's probably one of the shorter ones. So hopefully we just get a bit more sleep next time. That's all.
Yeah, I think it just takes a little bit more planning, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, once you get it dialed, you'll be right. You can rotate and all that, and you get into a bit of a system of doing it, and you'll be right.
Getting a bit of a routine. That's what I've found about, like, when there's races like back to back or whatever, it's easier to do stuff because you're in a routine. So
you get home, you got to have your bikes done before this certain day before you leave, and then you just
exactly. It's easier when it's all sporadic. I reckon it's harder to get shit done.
We get into the racing and that. Let's talk about you a bit, James. A few things have changed since our interview at the Vic Titles. What's going on in your life?
I just started an apprenticeship for one.
All right.
So I'm doing that. I had a bit of I wouldn't say a midlife crisis, but I was a bit like, I need to do something. So I started that in light vehicle and heavy diesel mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
enjoying that at the moment. I think I've been there maybe 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6. It's real good. And then I took over the presidency of Air Motorcycle Club, which is our local flat track, which is like 5 minutes from my house, which is too deadly.
Awesome.
So we're trying to get that back up and going. And then that's about it at the moment. Just planning our wedding too. Like that's all we got. Like it's just flat out with them at the moment.
Yeah, a wedding is big enough, really. You don't need all that other shit, do you?
Take up the whole year by itself.
Yeah, it's pretty full on. And when's that?
May next year, I believe.
Oh, yeah, right.
You believe?
Yeah.
You probably should know.
He knows, Claire, he knows. We've got your back, mate. Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
So, Air Motorcycle Club, what's the go there? So what's the focus for Air and what do you cater for there?
Right, well, it's a straight flat track. It's like it's just dirt track. There used to be a motocross track there years ago, but it wasn't much of a motocross track. It was just a couple of jumps here and there. But at the moment, like, the main focus is just to trying to get bikes back on track because it changed hands presidency and there wasn't much going on. And I got approached and got asked if I wanted to take it over with the guidance of the people that were running it before the people that had it. And I said, yeah, let's have a crack at it. And the whole goal is just to get bikes on track and then give kids more of an opportunity to ride and be coached and stuff like that because there's a lot of kids up here that have a lot of talent and all that. There's just no one really helping them and stuff like that. So I just want to be there and get the bikes on track and get the kids going well and hopefully more kids involved because as without the kids, there's no seniors later on and everything will finish. So yeah, that's my whole goal is juniors, really.
Yeah, cool. So have you started some sort of marketing program or something to get them at the track or?
We haven't done anything yet because the club was that before I took over, it was AMA and obviously AMA have folded. So we're currently in the progress of doing all the licensing to go back under MQ and stuff like that. So we haven't really had any bikes on track, but a couple of weeks ago we did do 6 kids for a kickstart course. And they got they got all signed off to be able to race this year. So, and we've got it straight away. We've got another 9 or 10 or something lined up, ready to go.
Oh, cool.
So as soon as we get them done.
Yeah, so you've got a fair bit of interest there, and MQ's Motorcycling Queensland for those people that didn't figure that out. I'm guessing. I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
And yeah, so then I guess you'll do some come and tries and that sort of thing. And once you get licensed,
I want to take a lot of away from what the Harley Club do. The come and try days, the junior development days, because there's not a lot of that. Obviously, we like the same as the Harley. We all lack in volunteers, but we really struggle to get volunteers here. So without volunteers, nothing's going to happen. But yeah, I want to take a lot of what I've seen the Harley Club do with all that sort of stuff and try and implement it to up here and try and run it a bit more, user friendly and especially for kids. So that's my whole thing is right now is just for kids. So we'll just keep working at that. We got last weekend we've got tie walls like Mildura, and unfortunately because we went to AMA, we're trying to renew our license. MQ are flagging us as like a new track, which is a new rule that tyre walls aren't allowed. So we've had to remove the whole tyre wall, and so our whole track's pretty much fenceless now. But they'll let us run without no fence, or we have to put up a fence, kind of like what Broadwood has. And unfortunately, we don't have the funds in the bank to set something up like that. So we're just going to run a fenceless track.
Yeah, so you've got a decent runoff. I'm guessing. What is it, 20 meters or something you need, don't you? Which
yeah, something like that. We've got a pretty good like runoff area everywhere. There's a couple of areas that are probably a bit tighter than others, but they're those parts are the slowest parts of the track anyway, so it should be right.
Yeah, as long as it passes their rolling, mate, that's the main thing, and you get the track up and going, and
exactly right.
Getting the kids out there. And when the kids grow, I don't know if Brendan can second this or not, but usually the ones that keep returning, the returning customers, I guess you can call them, or the dads and mums and dads usually start volunteering in that anyway because they want somewhere for their kids to be racing and riding. So hopefully that will help, get a few new faces and volunteers on your side and
Yeah,
grow a bit more.
yeah. So and then we got some other stuff in the works yet, but can't really say much about it because it's not really done yet. But we have got some more stuff involved, working on trying to get onto Yamaha through the local dealership in here is Yamaha for racing kind of stuff. There's Honda, but they focus on like the power tools and the gardening and all that stuff, mowers. Yeah. But Yamaha be serious races, like the owner there builds Jack Miller's KTM engines and stuff like that for his dirt bikes, so he knows his stuff. And we're just trying to work with them for hopefully with some peewees or something, and get some kids come and try days and they can hop on a bike and ride. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, you could always have some charity mower races, get Honda on board with that, and raise some money for the club by mower racing around there or something.
Yeah, that'd be golden around the junior speedway track, couple of miles.
It's been done before. That's not an original idea, by the way. Yeah, sweet. So you did tell me last time where you live and that you're in Queensland, but what are the closest towns and cities to you that so everyone that's listening, they might go, actually that's closer to me than I realised, or whatever. So is there a sort of a list of places that are within an hour or two? Yeah,
we're in Ayr, so we're an hour south of Townsville, and then we're 3 hours north of Mackay. They're probably the two cities that would stand out without me going into great detail of the other ones.
Yeah, right. So if you're in those areas, get on to James and give him some support and get another track going. That's for sure. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, all the help will be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, and Brendan, what about the Harley Club and that? What's going on down there?
We had our first round of our club champs, I think the weekend, 2 weeks before Bathurst. So that was that went well, pretty decent numbers. Everyone had fun. So a bit of a later day, just a couple of little hold-ups here and there. But so we've got round 2 next weekend. So sort of just starting off steadily, I suppose.
And so round 2 of the club champs, how many rounds is there this year?
I think there's 7, in the calendar. Some of them are subject to change, like whether they turn into different race meetings or possibly Vic titles or something like that. So that's right at this stage, it's just I think 7 rounds of club champs, but then one of them might turn into the Vic titles and stuff like that.
I noticed that on the calendar there was a lot more club championship rounds. What was the because usually it's 4, isn't it? So what was the reasoning behind that? I'm all for the longest.
So
I'm just curious. That's all.
It was always, there was 3 races at the start of the year. You could set your clock to the way the club calendar was. There was 3 races at the start of the year that were just nothing. Then there was the winter break, and then there was the 4-round club championship. And I think, I don't know, the people I spoke to, and then more and more people do private hires as practice days and stuff like that. So I figured we didn't need as many practice days. So everyone I spoke to were like, oh, we want to race. So, and then the longer club championship means that if there's a class or you can't make one of them or whatever, you don't lose your club. If 4 rounds, if you miss 1 round, you're pretty much done for the title. So now, because there's a lot of people put a lot of prestige on their club championship. So now if they have to miss a round, they can still make up points, sort of thing. So so we did it last year. I think it was 6 rounds, 6 or 5 by the cancellations, and everyone loved it. So we kept it for this year.
Yeah, sorry, I was just adjusting my volume. I was getting distortion and stir my head in. So James, did you tune into Bathurst at all?
I did. So I was actually at a wedding down in Victoria. Me and Brad Burns were sitting there drinking beers, and we had the live stream going at the wedding. We tried to tune in as much as we could and have a look, and we were more watching the MyLapse live timing. So we just tried to have a look there. We were mainly trying to have a look at what the slider class was doing. But obviously, when if we turned it on, the 450s were on, we watched that for a little bit. But I didn't really take much notice other than the slider class, to be honest with you.
And what did you think about the live streaming and the footage you were seeing?
I think the live stream being on YouTube and being free is by far the best live stream for any categorizing with like motocross speedway, it's by far like the best one I've seen. It was the same. I think did they run last year? They did run last year.
Yeah, it was the same last year. Yeah,
they used the same people last year, and it was flawless. Like it didn't really, never really buffered, never really glitched out. It was, and it never was really like sorry, we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Back. It was constantly always on. So and it was free. Like that was the best part. It's free. Like so that was a credit to them for doing that. From what I've seen, like had a shower. There's a shower every year at Bathurst when I've been there. Track looked good as it always is. It did look a bit ruddy in turn 1 and 2 there. It did look like there was a ruts there,
especially after the rain,
which I've never seen. I've never actually seen a rut on that track the 2 times that I have been there. It's always been like a billiard table, unreal to ride. But everything else, like the racing looked good. I think there was a couple of crashes, but I didn't get a glimpse of them. But everything else, like, it looked like it ran smoothly as it always did. Because they got like a massive lineup to get through the day and night. They do it quite well every year as well.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Brendan?
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone says, and it's sort of, there was a few things out of their control with hold-ups like the rain and that sort of stuff. But like you said, I think the same thing happened last year. I reckon they did well to get rid of turn the track around from the sludge that it was sort of thing. That track seems to handle water really well.
Yeah, I've always it handles water like ridiculously
well. Yeah,
it holds it, and the dirt turns just soft, and it's real.
Yeah,
nice.
And it doesn't get slippery. I'd go out straight after water, and yourself, if you go to like Broadford when it's hard packed, if you go just after water, it's like an ice skating rink, and I was nervous and I went out after water, went straight through a wet patch, and it was fine. I was like, oh, what the hell? This is so weird.
Yeah, you don't have to change your riding style when it's wet.
No.
It rides the exact same, and it has every time I've only been there twice, but both them times it was the exact same like track to ride.
Yeah, and it's super consistent. Yeah, but down that bottom 2 corners did get rough after they scraped the surface off. It was like concrete. Yeah, and then so that just made it get real rough, and it was it was sort of hard to ride because it was hard to push sort of thing. And even like if you're in a pack, because everyone's racing real close, they were just getting thrown around, and you didn't know if they were going to crash or not. So it was a little bit scary if you weren't, if you're in the pack after that. But that's just racing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, I thought turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 were all pretty choppy. After that,
they were. 1 and 2 was definitely worse.
Turn 3 into 4 is always the dark horse. It always grabs people off guard. I don't know why, but it always has.
It's weird. It's a super symmetrical track, but coming into turn 3 was way different than coming into turn 1. I don't know why. I don't know if it had something to do with the camber, but turn 3 was harder. Turn 3 and 4 were harder for me to figure out than 1 and 2. So
and coming out of 4 is like a massive blind spot for some reason. Like if someone's laying on the track, you can't see him till you're right there. No, that's what happened.
So Harrison,
that's what happened to Harrison Small. Yeah,
you can vouch for that. Yeah.
So pretty busted up bike, and best wishes to Harrison and the family that the repairs will get sorted. And
I've been on the phone a couple of times this week checking on him. We Harrison and I, we speak on the phone maybe twice a week, most weeks.
Oh yeah.
Just been checking in on him. He's just sitting at home playing the Speedway game on his phone.
Heavy spilled.
It was a bit of a shocker, and he pulled up bloody well actually. Like I couldn't believe that he got up after that straight away.
It's a pretty nasty crash. Like I think I can't remember who I was talking to who said it reminded them of that Sammy Halbert one in the States a year or 2 ago when it looked like exactly the same thing, just gone. Like
nowhere to go. Straight up and over. And he messaged me yesterday, and he exploded both the front and back tire, broke both engine cases. What else did he say?
He stuffed his pipe. His pipe's busted.
Yeah, his pipe was off the bike. So he's got an underslung pipe, so that probably got caught up on something. But that was ripped off.
His jersey got destroyed, except for the jersey print we did for him. So you need to hit me up.
So do you want to give that a bit of a punch?
Yeah, we can do a quick. It's Claire does most of it. I need to kind of pull my finger out and have a crack with her, but we mainly started like Claire had the idea of doing like sticker kits for your mini, your model dirt bikes and all that.
Oh, sick.
And that was the idea behind it. And then once we got the printer and all that, and Claire was learning how to do all the design and all that, it's been a bit hard with the dirt bikes, like trying to do graphics and all that stuff. So we just had a crack at it. We just, like, for fun, we just printed our own jerseys, and we're like, oh, these come up not too bad. And then we started doing them for some friends and all that. And like we've done Taylor's jerseys for Brendan and Taylor and all that. And then, we were like, oh, we might as well start a business. So like we started a proper business and all that, and just been doing jersey prints. It's kind of on the down low. Like, we don't really have the time to promote it like what Claire would like to at the moment, just with planning the wedding and working and all that extra stuff. So but like, yeah, I'm sitting in our office now, and like, I think we've got 8 jerseys here for Harrison that we've done.
Oh,
We've just got heaps here for Harrison at the moment and his cousin or something. So we've done a couple. Got heaps there. I think there's 8 jerseys there that we did the other week. And then like, obviously, if anyone wants jersey prints, send them up, like, get in contact with us, and we can sort you out.
So what's the best way they can get in touch with you?
Oh, you can either message. Most people just message like Claire or myself on a Facebook. But we've got a Facebook page, like I believe it's called Shred Design Co. And we've got Instagram and all that. So you can go on there and like the page and just flick some message on there. A lot of people that don't actually know us personally, that's how they get onto us.
Yeah.
And it's all our customers, though, have been word of mouth. Like, it's straight up just, we've seen that you did such and such as, we'd like to get ours done. So yeah, that's the best way for like a small business to grow, as you know, Darcy, just word of mouth and getting around and just try and promote it as much as you can.
That's awesome, and it was Shred, yeah, Shred.
Yeah, Shred Design Co. Yeah, SHRED, Shred Design Co.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, we'll get onto it, guys. If you want some sick jerseys done. So, what do you send a jersey to you, or how's that work?
Yeah, so it's up to like the customer, obviously, but the easiest way is to just get 2 post bags. If you want to do express, get express. If you don't have to, and just get, like, put your jerseys in one and then put the other bag in the other with your address on it. We'll just send it straight back, like, ASAP.
Yeah.
And most of the time we can do a pretty quick turnaround. Like, for instance, Taylor's jerseys, I think, what was it, Brendan? You need them for the Aussies, was it, or something like that?
Yeah, I reckon we only set them up Wednesday, like it was, and we got them back on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, so like we did a massive quick turnaround. Usually the day we get the, we've already spoken with the customer and got the design that they want. They're all happy with it. So like, usually it's ready to print. We just need to measure it up, adjust the size, print it, stick it on, and then we send it back, like, pretty much within the day or the next day. And like, for instance, Taylor's needed hers ASAP, and as soon as we got them, like, we printed them within an hour, put them back at the post, and then that's it. So but like, we're still figuring it all out. There's a lot to learn with it, but I need to learn a lot. Claire's pretty much got it dialed. Just with like logos and stuff like that, it's a bit hard. Like, Taylor wanted us to do some logos, but unfortunately we didn't have the experience on the machinery to do it yet. But I think
you got the experience there.
I think Claire's more than capable of doing it now, probably, because we've invested in an iPad, like a big iPad, so she can draw with the pencil and all that.
Oh yeah, nice.
So she's worked it all out pretty good. So like Harrison's jerseys, we're going to try to do some logos for him and all that and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool.
So.
Yeah, it's good to have some guinea pigs work that stuff out.
Yeah, well, that was it. Like Taylor's ones, we did Taylor's for free because they weren't perfect and all that sort of stuff. So we've done a lot of free ones because we want to have a good reputation of supplying a good product. So we've been trying to get it perfect, and a couple of Harrisons haven't been perfect, and then Claire got some like Mickey Mouse, like they're perfect. So we're getting there.
Yeah, cool.
It's practice.
Yeah, that's it.
And so were you sitting at the wedding going, oh, I wish I was at Bathurst on my slider, or
it's still bent up from the Vic titles, and Dad still hasn't got so no, I did watch it, and I actually was like, oh, it'd be nice to be there. So I don't know, probably not next year because we got a lot coming on, but I definitely would like to get back there.
Yeah, nice.
Not to win it, but just to be there because it's a hell of an experience riding there. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, so that sort of leads in nicely actually on the trying to win it side of things. I'm pretty sure my fact's right, 280 riders. Is that right, Brendan? Pretty close.
Oh, they said something. A couple of reports said 280, a couple said 250. It was over 200.
It's a lot of riders. And you got to count, there's only, I think, 2 junior classes, if I'm correct, 85s and 250s, because they don't run anything.
No.
Apart from 50s on the infield to
yeah.
But well, that's a lot. So imagine if they had like 65 class, which they probably wouldn't make it around the track for 4 laps. But
yeah,
there's a lot more riders out there, kind of thing. So
yeah, no, it's pretty huge. A lot of classes. Yeah, I can try the share screening thing, and we can see actually what the classes are, if I can do it. Oh,
practice.
Practice.
There, right?
Maybe I should practice some more. It should be. Oh, that's our screen. Advanced files. I'm gonna.
Either way, it's definitely a meeting. Like if you're even thinking about doing it, you just got to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice some more of that, unfortunately. But yeah, so I bumped into quite a few people, had a few guys come up and say they love the pod and all that. So that was awesome. Thanks to everyone that's done that.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, it is. And I've got to do a shout out to Tom Northey and all the sidecar riders. So dirt track sidecar riders. Yeah, they wanted a bit of acknowledgement, which is fair enough. We don't talk about them at all, really, especially on the flat track pod, because we're about 2 years, not 3. But they are a big part of the Australian history of dirt track too. And
yeah, definitely.
But I was actually thinking about cold calling them because I was trying to talk him into coming on. He reckons he needs a bottle of whiskey, but so I thought maybe we should cold call him. But yeah, because I can't do the share screening thing. I thought I could do it like that, not Messenger. And yeah, but it might not let us. But yeah, I'll have to practice with that. But yeah, so do you know much about the sidecars, like what sort of engines they run and stuff? Because they're not like a short circuit speedway sidecar.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of them do run close to the same sort of motor. I don't think so. A lot of the sidecars these days are running cross-plane R1s, which are the newer style R1s, and they got different. I think they got different cams and stuff like that. So they weren't running them for a while in speedway, but now they're like the bee's knees because they've got them worked out. But I think a lot of them are just running the old faithful FZR 1000s, I believe. I think they're a strong motor that I think a lot of them use it, but I think they just get whatever's available.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a couple 600s in that as well. Yeah, one guy I borrowed a tire groover off Trev, who's a sidecar rider that we met in Gunnedah at the New South Wales titles. We remember when we pulled up to the car park. He was the first guy we talked to, and that's not pizza, is it, James? Just after the gym, you're eating pizza.
It's all that balance, isn't it?
He tried to do it slide. Did you see how he turned his back to the camera?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's all right. I had pizza tonight, so what a hypocrite.
Right.
Protein bread.
Yeah.
So
so he lent me the tire groover, Trev, and there was a guy there on a side chair tire grooving, and basically he called his bike a piece of shit, but he said it's a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, they're all like a lot of them are just homemade. Like no one makes them, so they just gotta come up with what they got.
Yeah, so I hope that didn't sound like we're ribbing the side chairs because they are a lot of fun. And there's so Nick Picks from New South Wales, you might have seen on Panorama Motorcycle Facebook page, and that has posted lots and lots of photos. He's awesome, doesn't watermark them either, so just make sure you give him photo credit if you're using them. But there were some amazing ones of the side chairs. Actually, there's one where the side chair is actually up the third wheel's up and the passenger's leaning right off it. And yeah, did you see that one? That was I thought that's
I think I did
probably,
see that one actually.
Probably my top pick out of the pictures, actually, that one. And
right.
Yeah, real action. I reckon he might have had a little brown stain on his undies.
And that was a good picture, that one.
Yeah. So, were you happy with your racing, Brendo?
I was happy with the start of the meeting, and then not so much with the second half of the meeting. I don't know what happened, and that's what annoys me the most. But yeah, I think regardless of results, I think the way I was riding gives me a lot of confidence, and then also being able to, like, I was watching what the top guys were doing, coming into the corners and stuff like that, and being able to adapt and do stuff that I hadn't done before, just from watching them do it, like riding a rear brake, coming into the corner, like the way they were doing it sort of thing, holding it on the stop and just controlling it with the rear brake. I'd never done it before. And just being able to pick up stuff like that just sort of gives me a lot of confidence moving forward. So I a lot of confidence with the bike too. Just the power of it. I'm gonna switch to race fuel now. I think I might have got some dodgy fuel sort of halfway through the meeting. But yeah, the start of the meeting, they weren't sort of pulling on me as much as I thought they were going to be. So yeah, I sort of as shit as the results were towards the end of the meeting, I'm happy with how it went and take a lot of confidence out of it.
Did you take your seat off when you cleaned your bike?
No. Oh. Well, when I didn't clean my bike. In between the meeting or? No,
at home when you cleaned it tonight.
No. Why is that?
Oh, because you should.
Why?
Oh, you should. You go and take it off, and you'll find out. I'm not fun anymore.
What? Someone put something. My air filter's not under the seat.
No, I know. Yeah.
I'm going to go and look after this now.
Yeah, that's why I wish I could share the bloody screen.
Oh, you got a picture of it or something?
I've got a little video.
Right.
But yeah, that's not why your bike slowed down, I'm sure.
I was going to say I feel sabotaged now.
Yeah, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I was the opposite to you. I felt like the start of my day was shit, and then by the night time, I felt like I was finally starting to warm up, which is pretty terrible. That it took like 16 hours.
Sometimes it does though, when you're like, obviously you made that change switching to the flat track tires, and that especially the second half of the meeting when the track got real hard, those were probably almost better than the trials tires. So sometimes it takes that long to make a change.
It was sort of weird. It was a bit of everything. Just not holding it on hard enough at the start too. I think in my body position, not sitting far enough back on the seat to get the weight down. I'm usually quite good at dirt starts, so I was surprised that I wasn't getting them, and I think then I got in my head about it, and that made it worse. And because I started trying different things. All I really had to do was sit my ass back and wrap it on harder. I tried the launch control. I tried, tethering the clutch more and stuff like that. But finally got there, and then because there was all the disruption and we weren't sure, there was a couple classes that things were happening back to back, and I was in obviously I was in the 19-inch class on American tires, and I was in the Pro 450 and the over 40s class on the Kelpi blocks front and back. So I was changing wheel sets. Then I made the decision. I thought, well, I think I'm just going to have to stick on the American tires because things are changing around so fast. I'm going to miss out. I'm not going to be able to flip them. So that's what I did. And all of a sudden I just felt more comfortable. And then I sort of off and had it still not the flashiest of starts, but instead of starting way back and trying to get places back, I started sort of
right in there.
Yeah, so I was sort of third to last or something, but managed to work my way up half the pack. And then somehow I got into the repecharge for the over 40s. and finished fifth in that. So that sort of started lifting my spirits a bit.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, it might be over 40s, but there's a lot of quick dudes in there. And for instance, Ben Gravel in that, and his lap times were pretty amazing, and just his riding all night. Actually, he was.
Who was that? Sorry,
Ben Grabham.
Oh, he is.
Dude can steer anything.
He is a great all-round motorcyclist.
Yeah.
And
so good to watch, and just like butter smooth too.
I remember what he rode Speedway for a little bit, and he showed up out of nowhere like, who's this guy? And Dad knew who he was, but I had no idea. And he, like, first race I had him, I was like, I should trap him and I'll be right. And he just led me for like 3.5 laps, and I got him in the last corner. I was like, who is this bloke? Where's he? What's this?
I think he's obviously just done a bit of everything. And when you do that, and I feel like if you can ride a bike, you can ride a bike. Like, and he's just got it.
Oh, he's so good on dirt track to watch, though. He's so not good.
I remember when me, Brad, and Jesse did that Troy Bayless thing at the Moto Expo, and he was on our team. Because it was the last minute. Troy was meant to be on our team, but he didn't want to get hurt, so he got Grabbo on there, and I was like, oh, yeah, he'll be all right. I didn't know that he'd ever ridden dirt track before. I was like, oh, it's cool that he's given dirt track a go. Then he goes out. He's the only one of us that won a heat. And afterwards, I went up to him. I was like, oh, I get around the dirt track pretty good. He's like, yeah, I used to do a lot of it. Makes sense now.
Yeah.
You almost won a heat. You got the you did a sneaky cut through the inside. I remember that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's my little claim to fame. And then I got walled by Nick Waters and stole the bike. So.
Old pickles, eh? Old pickles.
So I shouldn't have left the inside so open, but live and learn.
Yeah, that's right.
And then so going back to me, bring it all back to me. I was in the 19s class. I qualified into the B group, not the A group, which was fine. It's sort of it's not what I went in there expecting, but I knew the quality of rider was going to be high. So and I didn't know how I was going to go, and I hadn't tried that suspension on a fast track. I tried it on a really, really wet, slippery track in my backyard 2 days before, so I really didn't know if it was going to be right or not. But it was pretty good. And on the American tyres, I think I was a lot more comfortable than some, and some real good guys on oil track as well. I managed to battle with them, and I'm glad they were still finding their feet, because I'm sure once they do that, they'll leave me behind. But ended up third in the Bs. Good. It was good. I was a little bit disappointed. There was no recognition for it at prize giving and that, but that's, it was a second class, I guess, but and we did get our names in the paper and stuff like that, so that was pretty cool. But we're still there racing,
That's right.
Everyone in the class was definitely racing. The first corner, turn 1 and 2 were the most aggressive, where it was all bunched up, but it did spread out a bit. Saw a few posts. I think Steve Hughes posted on Short Track Down Under, and there was a few comments about the 19s being boring because of the format and that sort of thing. And
really,
and I sort of can understand, because there was no
final,
and I can sort of understand what they're meaning. So it's worth taking that sort of criticism on board, I think, because
I never even thought about it like that, to be honest. I thought it was great just because of long qualifying sessions and longer races.
And from a rider's standpoint, it is. Like, I love my fitness. I was so stoked with my fitness. All the work that I have been putting in really paid off. When the other guys, someone starting with M and someone finishing with B was getting tired, and I could see it. I felt like I was just getting started, so that was a real positive. Just need to work with a little bit more of getting on the throttle a bit earlier. But looking back at my own results and stuff, there was guys there that have been beating me the last few meetings that I've gone up against them, and I showed them my tail the whole meeting, so I was happy to take those positives away. But the criticisms and that, you need to, and if Dave, I'm pretty sure Dave Maddock saw it and responded to it and stuff, and yeah, but it should be taken on board, because I think if the 19s are to thrive and have a long future here, we've got to take that stuff on board. And
for sure, yeah.
I was actually speaking to someone else today, Shane from Albury, and we're talking about the crowd, and you don't want them bored and getting frustrated.
That's right, definitely.
And I believe, well, there was a few comments of people walking and stuff, but I reckon that was more the rain break than anything. I mean,
well, and the fact that it was midnight.
Yeah, and it did go very long. Yeah, but all those things are out of the and hats off to the club and everyone involved. We're not trashing it or anything by any means.
Definitely do a great job. Get done.
Yeah, like you said before, James, huge number of riders to control and organise, and then you've got crashes and the weather came through and all that sort of stuff.
And not to mention the pit area. The pit area is so spread out, so it's actually quite hard to keep on top of what's out there and what's next kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I found myself going out like a few races early just to make sure I didn't miss it, because I didn't know what was up. So I was sitting out there, with 4 races to go before I'm even in the dummy grid. But
the first year I went, we pitted inside the big shed, and we were like,
that's where we were.
We were kind of like, oh, how do we know what's up? So the second year we went, we pitted outside the shed, like right at the dummy grid.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
And it was perfect. It was so much better.
Yeah, I think I think all the guys that had done it before did that.
Yeah.
Because we discovered the exact same problem, and we're going, this is pretty hard to hear what's going on. I was crossing off my program and staying so when my heat come up, I cross off up to my heat and 2 after.
Yeah.
Because by the time I got in and came out, that one was in the dummy grid. So but it got after the rain, it did get a little bit messy, and they had to change things around and make choices, and not being able to hear, that was pretty hard. But that's that's pretty normal for a meeting of that size anyway.
Yeah, exactly right. One other thing is with the riders and like your team and your mechanics and all that, and whoever you got with you, it's very difficult as a rider to watch the races, because there's not much of a viewing area unless you go up in the grandstands.
Yeah, which is ages to get to.
Yeah, there's just no way. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's a bit hard to watch what's on track, because especially with the sliders, you'd be making adjustments a lot more often than what a 450 would be. So it's a bit hard to try and watch the track and see deteriorating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other than that, best round events in Australia, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, we've only done it once, so we've got nothing to compare to. But it was for the size and that, you can nitpick, but there's so much going on.
You can't pick at an event that size, and it runs, in my opinion, it runs flawlessly. Every time I've gone there, it's been the best time ever. Everything's bang on. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, my only criticism, and it's not because I was on the top 3 of it, but was just that the Group B of the 19s didn't really get acknowledged in the prize giving, and that's probably my only gripe. Really, I sort of felt that we were racing too, and it should have been acknowledged.
Yeah.
But some people might say take a teaspoon of concrete, toughen up. But that was really it. And I sort of think with the live streaming, that could have been a little bit tidier, but there was a bit of confusion going on and stuff with heats and all that sort of thing. So, and it's bloody hard commentating, like if you don't have good communication. I was thinking about it today. What's the best way for event commentating? And I reckon you have to have communication with the start gate, so they just confirm every class that's come to the grid with the commentator, so they know they're on track. Because, usually as a commentator, you're running by the program, but if changes are made, 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10, you're not told.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you go, oh, so now we've got the hooligans and they've all got long hair and ponytails and they're all on 450s. So women's gloves.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's a pretty hard job. But I sort of think that post-production might be, I know it's probably controversial. I'll probably get beaten up for it, but I sort of think if they did post-production, they might actually get a better product. It's not that it was a terrible product or anything. I just think a little bit more professional. There's a lot of background noise going on. There's a little bit of and ahhing and not quite knowing sometimes what was going on and that sort of thing. And you can fix that up in post-production, but then you've got to have someone sitting there doing it and editing it and all that sort of thing.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
but
all volunteers. So
yeah, but to me, that's the sort of way I think it could improve. It's only my opinion. You don't have to agree, but I sort of think that's the way that it could improve. I did look at YouTube, and I think it was the first. Oh, I've got my old phone. I think it was the first one had like 9,500 views, and then it dropped down to 2,000. And I just wonder if that, I got some family overseas, and that said that they couldn't handle watching it. So and I just sort of think, with events like that, you want them to come across the best you can, and it's a little bit disappointing, but if and hopefully whoever was involved, if they are listening to this, don't get offended. It's just pointers, bit of feedback, and keep working on it.
That's right. Things can only get better each time it gets done.
Yeah, exactly right.
And look,
obviously this is only their second time doing the live stream, so
compared to my live stream or attempt at the VIX, it's bloody awesome. Having a good camera, the cameras are expensive, especially to be over to long distance shoot like that did. And, I don't know if they had some sort of auto tracker or if there was someone actually doing it or not, but
I think it was someone doing it, because I saw the camera sitting on the roof outside the school tower on a tripod. So I think someone was just sort of moving it side to side. Yeah.
So that's pretty hard. Like, it's really hard doing that sort of stuff, and
it's not an easy task. And like you did it yourself, you can't just do it by yourself and stuff like that. So it's definitely a team effort. Unfortunately, sometimes if you really want it done well, you have to pay top dollar for it. And
exactly.
Right. Yeah, well, that's right. It can come down to that sort of thing. But anyway, we won't bang on too much about that anymore. What's coming up next? Oh, did you see the one I tagged you in today, Brendan?
Yes. I can't remember what it was. Oh, Tamworth or something. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see if we can do that. When's that, May?
It was. It was soonish, and that's why I was thinking, will we be able to? Would we fit that in? Because that one's definitely not on the camera, on the calendar.
No.
It was Brendan and Taylor sat in the back of the car with a laptop and started writing out the calendar, yelling dates at me. You're gonna have to send me a that. Yeah,
I will actually.
And then Scott Wilkins from New Zealand tagged us in the Sam Smith Classic.
Yeah, I saw that.
But that's I think it's the weekend after Tari.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I sort
of probably not happening this.
Well, don't rule anything out, mate. We've taken our bikes over. That rules it out. But if we could borrow some bikes, flying in's not our option. So if we could do that, that'd be awesome. I'm up for doing more long track stuff because I really enjoy the long tracks.
I'm keen to now that Bathurst is over, I'll put the 19s back on and ride on them on the full track at Broughton on Sunday, and yeah, I'm just keen to get as much time as I can on them now for FTN. So
yeah, I can vouch for Tamworth. That's probably one of my favourite venues, and I don't know why a lot of people don't like it and they throw a lot of hate to Tamworth, but I think it's one of the best tracks in Australia. The people that run the club are very friendly. They just a lot of people complain about it, but I've never had a bad thing. The 3 or 4 times I've been there, I reckon the surface is good, the track's good.
How does it compare to Bathurst, like with surface and length? Is it shorter?
It's a lot shorter. It's smaller than Wagga. I'd say that it's smaller than Wagga.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I think it's like might be the same length, but the corners are kind of a bit longer, kind of thing. Like it's more, you know what I mean?
Open.
Yeah, no, it's not so open. It's hard to explain without once you go ride it, you understand perfectly.
Yeah.
It comes under like long track, like you know what I mean.
Oh,
so like,
okay, yeah.
I've raced Speedway there a few times as well. Like it's not.
Oh, really?
It's not. It's a huge track for Speedway, but
yeah,
it's not. I wouldn't classify it as a long track.
Yeah, okay.
But
so it's not paperclip shape. It's more of an oval, like more of a egg shape sort of.
No, it's a paper. It's a proper like paperclip as you just described. It's that. It's just so hard to describe it because it's the way it rides is very different.
Yeah, right.
So
might have to give it a go.
Turns 1 and 2 are probably a bit tighter than 3 and 4. Like 3 and 4 kind of carry on a bit, where turns 1 and 2. I feel so. It's got a shape, but it like when you walk it and ride it, it feels like it's a paperclip shape.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
keep that in mind.
I love that place. It's heaps. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think we drove past it. Actually, is
track.
that where that? Yeah, isn't that where they had the junior track championships last year?
Yeah.
What's the track actually called?
It's just I think Tamworth Motorcycle Club or something like that. Tamworth Speedway or something like that.
I thought it started with O or something.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oakburn Park Speedway, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Light switch.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. Like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because I think we're taking.
Oh no, this is Corindai. You got the same track?
No, that's the showgrounds. That's the showgrounds.
Yeah, so this is at Corindai.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so Corindai is
huge. There?
Corindai's a trotting track. I haven't rode there, but Corindai's a trotting track like Bathurst, so it's huge, but it's a very funny shape from.
Brendan's going now. Look, see the sparkle in his eye. I've seen that a few times last year.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah.
20th and 21st of May. At least it's a 2-day meeting.
Yeah, it's run by the same people that run Oakburn Park, though.
Yeah. Those Tamworth people have been it a lot. Like the guy running the dummy grid at Bathurst had a Tamworth shirt on. He was the same guy running the dummy grid at New South Wales Titles. And
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and they work a bit with Gunnedah too, don't they? Because it's not that far away from there.
No, not really. Half hour or something.
A lot of those riders, they come across and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm a bit lost. Where are we? What are we up to? Like, so
I don't know. Have you got a cheat sheet?
No, do you know what? I'm that professional now. I don't even bother with it.
That's why you still need it.
Very good.
Well, we could go back to James's diet and spend probably 45 minutes on that.
Protein toast.
So obviously, watching the 19s and the qualifying, like Brendan was a bit destroyed that he didn't realise he was a qualifying for the 19s, and
I think the whole class maybe was a little bit. Not the whole class was last minute, but some of the organisation of it was last minute because in the program it printed out that they get a 5-minute qualifying session, and then there's like 4 races that vary in length. And I'm like, man, if that was advertised, I know it filled up, but more people probably, like I would have entered if I probably knew that. So, But I think, maybe that was a last minute decision or something. But
it was really good actually. But I just think I sort of do agree a little bit with the guys that said, that you don't know who won because it's on points and there was no final. So maybe for the long track event, AFTN's a different beast, but maybe at the long track event or something, you keep it like the Open Unlimited or the
just change the format to suit sort of thing. Like I think it was proved that the class was popular, so I think that's out of the way. They know they need to run it, so maybe next time they'll just adjust the format. One rider that really impressed me was Tom Herrick. I don't know why, but like since those New South Wales titles where he beat Jared Brook at Gunnedah, he just seems to I hadn't really seen him much before, and now he's always up there. Like I don't know if something changed but he really impressed me, especially in the 19s class.
Yeah, sorry, James, you go, mate.
He was as a junior. I raced him in juniors in dirt track, and he was a very, very fast junior rider. Very like if you beat him, he was probably having an off day. Yeah, right. Always up front. And I remember junior 250s. Like when I was junior 250s, it was when like the first fuel injected YZs come out, kind of thing, around that era. Yeah. And I remember he was on like a 2007 Serif 250, and he was just was silly. So I just said he was a very, very good rider, and the bike he was on, it was an older bike, and he just spanked all of us all the time.
Yeah, right. He still is. There was in the was it the 252 strokes or the open 2 strokes? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. What are the 2-stroke classes?
That's why I'm spewing. I can't share the bloody screen. I'll have to practice it. But that way we could have brought it up and given all the riders that didn't get a mention, we could, because I think top 10 you should have got a mention. But
it's hard. You never. We'd be here for hours if we spoke about every rider in the top 10 of every class. So.
Yeah. Well, not that long.
Yeah, but it's hard.
It only took me 15 minutes.
It's hard to mention everyone.
Talked about bullshit for an hour. No, everyone loves hearing their name read out, and I think a top 10 you definitely deserve at the Bathurst Long Track Masters to be. Well, okay, we'll shorten it for you. I'll compromise. I'll show you how compromise. We'll go top 5 at least.
I know.
Have you worn those bearings out yet, James? Fiddling with your little bike.
Oh, I can't stop. Whenever I'm sitting somewhere, I have something in hand, and usually it's me. So I haven't got my phone, so I'm not sure what to do. I don't know.
I sit all over my desk, and I'm just playing with it left, right, and centre. I'll put something down, and then I'll pick something else up. I can't stop playing with it.
And you can see those diesel mechanic fingernails happening there.
Yeah.
James. Look at that. I thought he'd been to a golf party, and then I realised what the apprenticeship was.
Working men's hands, aren't they?
Yeah, so I sort of started about the 19s before, and what I was going to ask is, do you think it's a good sort of indicator for people of what the AFTN will be like, or do you think it probably wasn't a good enough representation? Or
I don't think it represents what the AFTN will be like, just because their formats are different. A little bit different, but I think it was almost just like a proof of concept for some people. I think there was people that were skeptical. AFTN's proved that they're good, and then this is sort of proves that people are interested in it, and they had the highest prize money and stuff like that. So I think it's people were slow to come around, and then the last couple of events have really there's been jumps in people coming around to 19. So
I agree with that one. Like it's slowly it's going to have to take over at some point, because the biggest thing I say to everyone is wheels are available and these tyres are available. Where the Mitchies, they're available for a few months, then they're gone again. So these tyres are available, and the more that people run them and stuff like that. Like I know this year, once we get some club date, like our dates sorted, we're throwing a 19s class in our race program.
Yeah,
because we've got 3 or 4 riders up here that are going to be doing the AFTN and all that, and they've got nowhere to practice. So we'll put us in. As long as a few riders show up, we'll just let them go by themselves. They can practice or do.
And honestly, when people ride on them, because I was honestly skeptical of them years ago as well. But when people ride on them, they'll realise they're not as bad as you think they're going to be.
The track thing is a big thing for me. Everyone, they won't work. Well, I think definitely proved that at Bathurst. And I got around, with a smile on my face, got around a few people that were bagging them, and and they were on Mitchies. So that's I think that's enough evidence.
It's a conversation that Harrison and I we probably talk about every time we speak on the phone. Like I said, we talk on the phone maybe 2 times a week sometimes, and it comes into every phone call.
He loves it.
It's the same conversation, but we just have it every.
Well, Jesse's riding them on Sunday as well.
Yeah, right. He I think he bought a few sets of wheels off Matt Davies, who was selling up a fair bit.
Yeah, he did. And for people listening out there, I don't know if that post is still there, but he's given people a great bargain, and whether you're buying them off me or him, or it doesn't matter. But if you want a set of 19s, I think he's still got a few, isn't he, Matt Davies up in?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Where is he again? He's up around Bathurst, isn't he?
West Wylam.
West Wylam.
Yeah, but check his page out, because you could save yourself a bit of money, and Jesse got a bargain. He got a set of 17s and a set of 19s, some usable tyres on them, and I think one even had a sprocket on it, and
sprockets, discs, everything. So.
Tail on hub and XL rims. So I don't care as long as you get on them. You say you're doing it at a saving, and you come racing on 19s. I think it's not just 19s of the future. I think the AFTN's the future, the way it presents itself as a series. Dirt trackers can complain about it, and when I say dirt trackers, I'm talking about 2118 setup of Australian dirt track. But I don't know, there was just a certain vibe around that I picked up that, I don't know, it's still being treated like a backyard sport, and I don't. It irks me. It really irks me. An event like that, I don't know, it's still just missing that little bit of sparkle, and I think we weren't even there, but just seeing the imagery and the background support to what came out on social media and that from the AFTN, I think that's what the sport needs.
I was hanging for Bathurst, that's over. Now I'm hanging for my holiday, and then after that I'm just going to be hanging for AFTN.
So where are you going on holiday again?
Bali.
I'm just doing that for the
I'm just going to Bali.
So you're going to get a scooter flat track race happening on the beach or something?
No, I'm just going to do it in the middle of the street.
We'll hear about Brendan in a week or so being arrested, and we'll have to get him released. I think you got to carry big wads of cash to pay the police off. I'm really looking forward to the AFTN rounds. Appin's the first one, and I'm not riding it. You and Zane are really happy with Zane. Actually, I know he sort of felt like he could have done a bit better, but he did get into the A group of the 19s. Again, if I could share the screen, I could remember all the stats, but he did pretty well. I think he qualified 7th or something.
He did well,
So
should be happy.
He should be proud with that effort. And what was it? I think Jared Brook was about a second difference in times between 2118 and 19s.
Which is
it was
not
pretty
huge.
Close.
I think I reckon I don't again, I haven't rode a 19s or anything, but from what I've seen, if the way that track, the material deteriorates and all that, I think if it was a bit more of a harder pack to track, I think the lap times would have been a little bit more different than so close. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys agree or not, but my opinion on it.
I reckon almost the opposite. I reckon when it got harder packed, I reckon that's when 19s probably worked better.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I didn't see the lap times from the end of the meeting after they scraped that top off, whether they got closer or not. But,
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I riding on them, I found using the looser stuff was better.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was more in turn 3 and 4 than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I changed the lines up a little bit a couple of times, and I went in the middle, and I just about lost it. I actually had a little brown stain in mine, but and then I went, I was hooking up better if I had the rear on into the sort of soft stuff that everyone had thrown up a bit higher.
Yeah.
The front was just because you know how you get the little bump of where the depth of the surface changes. I'd have to crack in it in the front on the hard stuff, and that seemed to work well for me. But the other guys were still gapping me, but I actually think that might have been bike power and rather than anything else, because I could catch in corners, and as soon as we straightened up, they were just gone.
Talking about bike power, I watched that first 390s race, Brendan, where you just
he's a rocket shit. It's like I hit boost or something. Like it was like 3/4 of the way down the straight. It's like they just run out of power, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So they are those MTR boys know how to build an engine.
Every lap, it just looked like you were just like coming into the corner was like halfway to max power every time.
You know that whole I didn't even get into top gear on that whole track.
Yeah, right.
That was pretty crazy. So they're actually taking 2 gears out of it. They're bringing it back to the 3-speed, taking out first and fifth. Because that it's only used for 3 gears. Yeah.
So they couldn't just change the sprocket, or?
No, they I wanted to add 1 tooth, and he only had 2 teeth. And I just we were already racing by then. I was like, I can just try and leave it the way it is. So who knows? Maybe if I added a tooth, I might have been able to get on the power a bit earlier. But after the first race,
went out of the corners.
What's that?
It just looked like it was like a bit slow out of the corners.
Because I wasn't getting on it early enough because the front end was super nervous. And that's why I was backing off so early coming into the corners because it's got a little bit of a weird rake. Like the front kind of wants to tuck all the time. We moved the forks and it kind of only made it a little bit better. So that's why. And when the front's nervous, you're scared to get on the power because it's just going to push. So I think if we got that front figured out, like I know I can ride that bike better, but it just seems a little bit finicky. Like some days it'll be on rails and other days it's a little bit nervous. And if that thing was on rails, I reckon it would have been a different story. But it is what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and look, the guys that you were racing against, they were pushing their bikes.
Yeah.
Past the limits, like Daniel Wicks and who was the other guy?
Corey Banks.
Yeah, they were just diving into the corners and
and if that's what I needed to do. But
watching them from the whole meeting, I sort of feel like they do that on everything and anything. So but look, you're in one piece, and that's the main thing. You played the smart and you rode the way that you feel comfortable and that's it. But it made for some good racing. There was
definitely some fun battles in that class. So I'm glad about that because it's never fun if they were just smoking me and I was just riding around 3rd or 4th on my own. Like it's never fun. I don't care if I was battling for last. Always battles are fun. So.
I had a couple good battles too. Once I started finding my feet a bit. I did get another bad start. But I sort of got a little bit more aggressive and I tried to go around about 8 people at once. And it was either the wall, the other dude, or let him go. So I had to let him go. But I still got back to 7th from that one. So that was
that's right.
Yeah, that was good. But and the other funny thing was I thought when the lights come on, I thought everyone's chains were kicking up sparks.
Yeah.
Until Brendan told, you idiot, it's the steel shoe.
I thought you've done Skylifts before. It happens to Skylifts as well.
Yeah, I can't remember the sparks like that at Skylift. But
Yeah,
it was a while ago since I did one. So
That
What's that?
I said, can't even give you any sympathy for that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so I sort of got some good news today. The Kelpi Cup will be happening this year. So we've got at least 2 rounds. I only need one more, and I know I can stitch that up with the Harley Club if I have to, but hopefully we'll have another track on board. So the first one's going to be at Skylift, and
awesome.
then at one of the Harley Club rounds, and then I'm aiming for Cara, but we'll see. And so that will be
an air if you want.
Yeah, might be just a little bit too far. I'd love to. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. How long does it take us to drive there?
Too long. Just too long.
Yeah, it's too long. It's what?
So that's like 5 days or something, is it?
Oh.
No, I think we did it not too long ago when Mum and Dad gave me the race van. I think it took us. I think it was like 3 days, maybe something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was with a couple of sleep stops too. And when I say a couple, I mean literally 2 stops.
Yeah, that's a bit of a journey, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit different.
It's going to be maxing up there, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a bit different if you're not driving back home because we got here and went to bed and that was it. But for the people who got to drive and then turn back home, yeah, it's probably a different story.
Yeah, I actually went and had a look at a truck today.
Oh, did you?
I just about traded my van for it. Like, we just did a complete swap. It's an old girl, but a dual thing. And but then he decided not to, and I was sort of on the fence anyway, so it's worked out. But I'm looking around to see. The van's great, but it's not like a van where you can go loading lots of bikes in and stuff. So
talking about like your setups and all that, the best setup I've seen so far is Brody Waters and Nick Waters. They just race desert now. For their, they were gods in dirt track for a long time. For their desert setup, they bought a ex-Snap-on truck.
Oh yeah.
And this thing is like proper like factory race setup, and it's just they got like sets of forks hanging on the roof and stuff. It's just
right.
Yeah, you can have a pretty good setup if you got the coin and know some people.
Yeah, it always comes down to the coin.
Exactly.
So, any idea why they left track to go to off road?
I think like again, they're all 3 of the brothers, Josh, Nick, and Brody. They're all good motorcyclists. Like Brody excelled at Speedway at one point. They've all been at the top of road racing. But at the end of the day, I think Brody and Nick, Joshua still races road racing. I think he's on World Superbikes this year, actually.
He does Aussie Superbikes.
He's on the ASBK.
Factory Ducati team,
Yeah, righto. Well, I think Nick and Josh, Nick and Brody, so they just enjoy riding off road, especially. So they just do that now. And they have a ball with it. Like, they got really good support. They're like pretty much the only people that are backed by AMX like fully.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So no, they've got it's awesome. They do quite well for themselves with the whole thing they do.
And did I see you have a race the other weekend, or was that an old post or something I saw?
No, we went down to Rocky, which is 6 hours south of us. They were finally allowed to run there again. It's a big, huge track. Be awesome, I think, on a set of 19s actually for dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah.
I went down there and I did practice and felt good. Made a quick adjustment. And then we had the first heat and I went backwards with the adjustment. I probably should have left it. Would have been better on the new tyre. And, Claire drained the oil because Claire mechanics for me alongside my best mate, Thomas. And she drained the oil and it was a bit unsure on it. And I looked at it and it was pretty glittery. It just didn't look right. So we just decided to pack it up after heat 1. I only had one bike and the motor was fresh. So I didn't really want to be putting a hole in a fresh motor. So I ripped the motor out of the track, gave it to Jacob Hook, and he took it down to Brisbane for me. And our mate Lango, he's opened it up and he called me and said there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh, it's always the way.
So I've still got him to split it and all that, check the crank and all that. And I haven't heard anything yet, unless Dad has. But yeah. So unfortunately, packed up after heat 1, drove home. Still got me tow money, which was all right. So that paid for everything. But no, I'm hoping to get down to Brisbane maybe once or twice this year to do one of Darcy Ward's meetings. And if I can do that, Dad's going to drive my other bike up, which has got my favourite motor in it. And so he'll give me my other bike, so I can have 2 bikes, and he'll just build another one down home if I ever decide to ride down home again.
How does that? How does the, what do you call it? Show money or something? How does that work in Speedway?
Tow money for Speedway is just appearance money, basically. It's just money for company. So every A grade rider got $500 for rocking up.
Right.
Yeah, and then all the B grade riders got 250, I think. But there was no point. There was only prize money. So first place, who Ryan Douglas won, he got $5,000.
Yeah, right. So that obviously wasn't just a club day.
No, that was a big open meeting. There was 32 solos. So there was full A grade, full B grade.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really good meeting. It's a as I said, it's a big track, so it's a bit. I think it's a bit boring from a spectator point of view.
Yeah, a bit spread out.
It's a really like it's a Gators track. It's really narrow, but it's huge. But so like you just ride around. That's the fastest way all night.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was a good meeting. It was good to be back on a speedway bike because it's been a little bit again. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a couple more rides in this year. Darcy Ward's old man George, who owns the speedway track here in town, which is literally 2 minutes up the road. Not even a minute drive from where our dirt track is up the road.
Yeah.
He's got 15th of April, I think it is, or 14th or 15th of April booked in for his first race of his calendar. So he's already booked me in to ride for that. So
yeah, cool.
I've put on a bit. I've been going to the gym, but I noticed that I was able to ride and take it out of me, kind of thing, as much as it normally would.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So yeah, the dirt track at Ayr, is that a kidney bean shape?
Well, Darcy, you're on your computer. You can probably look it on maps. It's very hard to describe. If you just search up,
I want to share. Did you see when I put that share screen up?
No.
Can you see that?
Coming on there. It's
I
coming
can see
on
it now.
Yeah. There you go.
Look, there's my laps after all that. Look at that.
There you go.
Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see that. We're looking at it.
Yeah, right. So what do I want? I want maps. Yeah. Why didn't I just press that before? I got scared and I didn't touch it.
Yeah, if you just go on maps and search what is it? I think it's actually called like Brandon Motocross Track. Yeah. Brandon Motocross Track 4807 on maps, I think is what it'll come up under.
It's called what? Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon Flat Track or Motocross Track, whatever you want to call it.
Is that how I spell it?
Yeah, yep. And then
Brandon Park?
No, go Brandon Motocross Track.
They need copies from up there, eh?
Yeah. And then if you go on Maps Darcy, I think you'll find it.
Queensland.
Yep, that's the one. That one right there.
Will it bring up a little map?
It should. And then if you just go into the if you press the little man to go down on satellite image, I think it is.
The little man to go down on what?
On the satellite.
Oh my god.
Apologies.
Apologies. Yeah, apologise for me because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Hold on.
No, you not there. If you just
hold on.
See the one on the Australian map, like at the top there, where it's got Brandon. You just zoom in on that. Zoom in down to there.
I can't even see it. Oh, Queen's here.
No, the next one up higher, like at the top.
Oh, yeah, because hold on, this little window's in the way. That's why. Yeah, sorry guys.
Yeah, if you just zoom into that, it should bring up a rough. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, freaking heck.
Oh, I don't know what you give a lot of time.
I don't know.
Oh, you're nowhere near it.
Where'd it go?
Keep going across there.
Where'd it go? There it is. There. I can do this on my phone, folks. Believe me. But why won't it let me? You know how you can press satellite and that. Why can't I do that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure how what's going on there.
Oh, so we're in here somewhere.
Yeah, you can keep going in there. Keep going in.
How do I no, it won't let me go anymore.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to search for you then.
I don't either. So for the people that can't see and that will be listening to this, it's a massive cock up. I'm trying to I'm trying to find the speed, but well, we found the track. We can see it, but I don't know how to.
Oh, actually, hang on a second. Am I still on? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it on your phone. You can share
I?
your screen.
Oh, hang on. I can do that too.
How do I do that?
Oh, look, see, I'm 3 steps ahead.
No, I can do that.
Oh, here we go. My daughter says that, and then she falls off the skateboard. Yeah, why I should be able to. So all I want to do is bring the satellite image, but for some reason I can't see the little thingy that you normally have, and I'm not used to doing this on the computer. So
Here we go. Ready?
Apologize. Have you got your Facebook open there, Darcy?
No, I've got the. Hang on, see if I can do this. Oh, Darcy's got screen sharing disabled.
Oh, have I? Hold on.
Maybe you got to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, Darcy, if you open your Facebook on the computer right now, I just sent you a screenshot of the track. If you've even got Facebook open. If not, we're going to be...
I can see what you mean by it being hard to explain.
Yeah.
I haven't got Facebook open.
You gotta look,
Brendan, stop laughing. Look, there you go. See if you can share now. Hold on. Multiple pin. You should be able to now.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, look at that. See, I'm
There
not
we
that
go.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. No, there you go.
Ah, there we go.
Is
Wrong track.
No, that's
that the wrong track?
No, that's the track.
Oh.
Yeah,
Just
so
off the Bruce Highway. Oh, just
off
up
the
the road.
Bruce Highway. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a fun layout.
Yeah, so that's the main layout there, and then that little dog leg that goes over the speedway track is one they added in not too long ago.
Okay.
It is
That'd be cool too.
So my
very, very tight.
question is, why couldn't you explain this layout? It's pretty easy. It's just like a double D bra.
Stop it. Oh. And then
he makes a good point.
And then Brendan, if you like scroll like up, kind of going to your left of the Bruce Highway kind of thing.
That way?
No, back. Follow that road down a little bit, like that main road. Yep. And then right there. No, keep going a little bit more, maybe.
Oh yeah,
there it is.
That's where the speedway track is.
Yeah, right. Walking distance.
Yeah. Literally walking distance. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
So you guys have got an oval too, didn't you? Can you go back up the road, Brendan?
Yeah, we do have a speedway track too. It's a bit of a funny shape, but it's quite fun.
Yeah, I don't know if this is 1 and 2 or 3 or 4, but yeah, it's narrow.
Where Brendan's mouse is now, that's 3 and 4 there, and then on the other ones 1 and 2.
Oh.
And they always call them 2 corners when it's just one.
And like those are just to the left of the track there. Those are houses where people live.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and then the houses up the front of the track there, like where 1 and 2 are, they're all houses too.
And they're all good with it?
Apparently not, but then when we have racing on, they sit in their camp chairs on their roof.
That's sick.
Oh, yeah. This is a audio podcast as well as a visual. So for the people that have just been listening to us talking about what we've been seeing, we're doing a bit of screen sharing. Brendan's a lot better at it than I am. And so we're looking at James's home track, which is pretty awesome. Like you've actually got 4 tracks here? No, 5.
No, we've got
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
4 if you count the junior speedway.
Yeah. So we've got. I do have some ideas that I'd like to try and do this year.
You can also make that layout there coming in through there.
Yeah, we can make the possibilities there are actually kind of endless. So we're gonna. I'd like to try and have a crack at doing some other things, but I want to try run big
So
meetings.
through Darcy's eyes, you've actually got about 6 or 7 if you did some weird stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could even do the double hairpin, go around it up there. Can you see my mouse moving or?
No, your screen's not being shared.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it.
He's playing with his
Oh,
own
man.
computer,
I'm
just like-
entertaining myself.
Oh, he's having a great time.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So
No,
yeah.
that's cool. Coffs
That's cool.
Motorcycle Club actually have been doing something similar where they've got multiple layouts on their track, and then they just sort of numbered them. And then when they announced like their club championship or whatever, they were like, "Oh, this round's like track 1, this one's track 3, or whatever." So each round, like I said, a different track. That'd be sick.
As I've told you, Brendan, like we run at night time too, and we start the day on dirt track, and then once the sun goes down and we have that changeover, we go to the speedway track under lights.
Yeah.
So every day, every time that we have a meeting or practice, you get to ride on 2 different tracks.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's heaps of fun. Changes it up, and yeah.
And so those light poles they're on the infield of Speedway track.
Yep.
And they light up the dirt track really well, do they? Or
they don't light up the dirt track that well. So we don't run the dirt track at night time.
Yeah, okay.
Because the lights I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, all the lights are facing in on the Speedway track.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to maybe run a night dirt track at some point. Maybe we can put something like that together and have a crack at it. But yeah, that's the way we run it. And it's been run like that for a long time, and it's always pretty successful. And I mean, who wouldn't complain? Who wouldn't ride 2 different tracks on the one day? Get to ride 2 different tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say to you, can you do like a double header with the Speedway Club down the road? But you don't really. There's no point. You've got all their layouts there anyway.
When he's done to run some of his bigger speedway meetings, we're going to try and run like a Friday night practice and try and double up stuff like that. But for that sort of thing, Brendan, if you actually go on your map thing there, search it. If you search what would it be under? Just go Proserpine PRO, Proserpine Queensland. Just go Proserpine dirt bike track or something, motocross track. I think it should come up.
The Sunday Dirt Riders Club.
That's the one. So this track here is about 2 hours away. If you go in there, Brendan, you'll see an even stranger track layout.
Where is it?
No, that's not it. Go out. Find the airport.
How did you even get satellite, Brendan? It's
a little button down the bottom.
Oh, you kidding? I probably couldn't see it because apart from being blind, too much going on.
Yeah, that's him there, Brendan. That's the one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's that dirt track there.
I'm not going to say what that looks like.
Yeah, well, I think listeners just will figure that out pretty quick.
Geez, that's a sharp ride, isn't it?
Oh, and then it's like second gear on the brakes.
If you go the full track down.
Yeah, so they
right there. That's crazy.
So usually on their days they'll run the long track through the day first, and then they've got lights too, and they'll run the dirt track onto the speedway track and use the right hander through the speedway corner.
Oh yeah, through there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, through there. Yeah, because it's all under lights there.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, we could probably try and do double headers with them because they're only about 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And then we've got another track which is an hour north of the air track too.
Yeah, so this one we're looking at is Proserpine dirt track. And
with Sunday Dirt Riders Club.
Yeah, she's pretty odd shape. But it looks like it would be fun. I like technical stuff like that.
Yeah.
I reckon this corner here would take... What's that?
This place here would work good on 19s too, Brendan. It's this is the one I told you about. It's got the dirt similar to Power, that red hard dirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like concrete all the time, pretty much.
So what are those tracks next to it? Are they motocross tracks?
Yeah, that's a motocross track right next to it. And then further to the right, Brendan, if you keep going to the right, that's like a rally car track.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, looks like a motocross track.
And then if you go to the right more, there's the road race track and all that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's not much of a road race track. You can only really get those 300 Prodigy bikes around there. You can't really get anything else bigger around there.
Yeah.
But they mainly run go-karts on it. It's got a super motard section there too, but
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
yeah, and that's
That's
about it.
That's I mean, we are a flat track podcast, but that's one of the things I love about flat track too, is you can actually and we haven't done it over here yet, but you could actually tie in a track. Obviously you got to get the go-kart track on side or the road racing track on side, like they do, or they have in the AMA with Daytona. They use one of the concrete banks and then go on to the dirt. I think that's pretty cool too, being able to do that.
Yeah, that was the first time I did that. I looked at that. I was like, "Gee, that's pretty wild."
Yeah, it definitely. For the non-rider, I suppose you might not understand the challenges there, but for anyone riding, yeah, that's a pretty challenging thing to do. Go from dirt to asphalt to back to dirt, or bitumen, or tar, or wherever country you are, and whatever you call it.
Yeah, and it's not like they were on the asphalt for like a second or two. They were on it for a good, like it was like the main straight of the track.
Straight, yeah.
Yeah, and high speed too. Yeah, really high speed. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to show us something else there.
No.
Oh, well, that was pretty successful. We've sort of got screen sharing down a little bit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I've got no idea how we did that. But
There's a button that says share screen. I didn't think it was rocket science.
Yeah,
but
that one.
It's not the button. Look what happens. Or can you see that?
No.
You can't see that.
No.
Oh.
Do we want to see
so
that?
when I press it, like 5 different screens came up, and I didn't know which one to push.
Oh yeah, then you just got to select which screen to share. Oh, we lost him.
That's too technical. Way too technical. Way too technical.
Way too technical. I'm going to practice a little bit. I'll do some practicing. I thought I had it nailed last time, but last time I practiced for like 5 minutes before I did it. So, and today I was scoffing my face with homemade pizza because I got a phone call just as I started making it, and that put me out of whack for my timing. And then James is messaging me, I'm just leaving the gym. I'll be 5 minutes, and I'll go, fuck's sake, I haven't even eaten my pizza yet. No worries.
Oh, look at it go, all over it.
Yeah, got there in the end.
Yeah, so I don't really know what else to say right now, apart from looking forward to the next one, which, for someone who wasn't going to be racing much, it's a bit exciting. I think I'm going to do the club day next weekend.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah,
I think I'm actually looking forward to adding the 19s class at the Harley Club. I don't know when we're going to do it yet, but I'll bring it up at the next meeting, I reckon.
Yeah, well, you might as well, because if you've got riders that are going to be competing in the AFTN, you'd be silly not to give your riders like your club.
There's already
the best.
There'll already be 3 of us. There'll already be 3 of us on 19s anyway. The next club day, so
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
and then might end up bringing them.
And then when Harrison's back, there'll be 4.
He'll be there, yeah.
So the Kelpi Cup is allowing 21-19 as well. So that will help fill the class out a little bit in Victoria, which I think will be pretty. I think it will be pretty evenly matched, to be honest.
Yeah,
it should be good.
Well, I know that as I told you, Brendan, a couple of weeks ago, we had Jack Miller riding around on 19s on his KDM.
Yeah.
Which is pretty trick, by the way. Got the Red Bull stickers on it. It's pretty deadly. Yeah. And there was a couple of boys getting around on the 19s, the flat track tyres, getting ready for Bathurst and AFTN. And then there was a couple on 21-18. And the way the track was, if you got your entry and your exit right, the 19s were pretty quick, but the 21-18, because the track was rough and soft, it just worked so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw a video of because is it Franco's race shop or something? That's who does build Jack's
Yeah,
bike.
so that's Miller's best mate, and he does all of Jack Miller's bikes and stuff.
Because he built Billy's bike as well, Billy Van Erd.
Yeah, so Billy rides under the Miller time.
Yeah.
The Miller
so I saw Franco put up a video of Billy coming into a corner a couple of times. I don't know which track it was at, but it was under lights. Holy shit, it looked good.
Yeah, it's funny. That was on 2118.
Was it?
Yeah, I messaged Bill. I messaged Bill about that, and I was like, man, that looked unreal. Was that 19s or 2118? He's like, nah, 2118.
I thought they were 19s. He was riding them like 19s.
Yeah, that's why I messaged him. I was like, because that track, the way that track is, it's a bit patchy sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
And the track was perfect, and it was just 2118 was just working schmick.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go. So, because I think he's doing ATN as well.
Yeah, he is. The only reason they didn't go to Bathurst was their second motor wasn't ready. So, and they didn't want to go down without a spare bike. It's a very long way for them to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, nice. Oh,
it was a bit of a shame about Curtness. So we think he must have been having mechanicals or something too. He never.
I saw him put up
got back out there.
No, so they tried to swap a bunch of stuff over to a different bike, but they wouldn't let him take out a spare bike. So.
Yeah, righto.
So he did practice. Practice and 3/4 of qualifying, and I think that's it.
Yeah, right.
No good.
Disappointing, isn't it?
So it'll be interesting to see if he's back for AFTN.
Yeah. Well, he won it last year, didn't he?
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was there again. Sporting the number one.
Realistically, he's probably got the most experience in Australia on 19s. So.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So I noticed some bruising on your left bicep. Yeah. Let's have a look. Look at that one.
Yeah, it's got old bat. Honestly, the roof at Bathurst wasn't as bad as what
look, I'm your twin brother.
Everyone said how bad it was, but at the start of the day, it wasn't as bad.
You can't see it. My tats are covering up the other side.
It wasn't as bad as I thought. After they took the surface off, it got pretty bad. But it's still not the worst. Not the worst. I reckon Wagga is the worst bruise I've ever felt.
Oh, well, no, Wagga was only bad because it was like -2 degrees, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and windy as,
Yeah.
So for the people that can't see the footage, we're comparing roost bruises. The roost is, most people will know what the roost is. It's a spray from the back wheel that you get hammered with if you're not fortunate enough to be out the front. And,
Claire, the year that Claire did Bathurst, she's only done it once with us, but she did it on a 250 and a 450 class. Yeah. And also she hampered with roost. 2 days later, she had her formal. So she went to her formal just covered in roost marks. It was a cracker.
Yeah, I actually, at the time, didn't think that it hurt as much as some other tracks I've been at.
No.
Well, I got told the first time I went, being on the slider class with those big knob tyres, people were like, take some carpet or cardboard, put it in your suit. And I didn't find it that bad. It's pretty bad when you go into turn one, when you got, if you're last into turn one, you got almost 12 other bikes covering you in roost.
Yeah.
But once you get going, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, I brought a jumper to wear underneath just in case I didn't end up wearing it. So.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, Oyen was worse. My nose was bleeding.
Yeah, 100%.
Was bleeding like it was ripping skin off.
Yeah. Claire's trying to be a smart ass. What'd you say, Dale?
Saying Oyen was a lot worse. We had skin getting ripped off. I had a bleeding nose, so did Brendan, and cheeks were all pitted. And that was pretty hard.
Claire just said to me it wasn't bad for me because I was in front at Bathurst.
Well, that's fair.
Where is Claire? Is she jumping on? She's going to say good day or what?
Come on, Dale. You can come in if you want. No, she doesn't want to.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
What a party pooper. We actually got the Borshinator on.
Borshinator, I'm going to call it that.
The Borshinator, we got the Borshinator on. So her and the Jensen, and so I'll probably tag that into this one. I was going to do a separate one, but I think I'll just tag some of that video from that I got at Bathurst and with this pod, and it's pretty good. There's Brendan's little treat under his seat is on there too, so you can.
I'm going to go have a look at that after this.
Please do send me a Snapchat of
I
it.
will. I'll send you a video. Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you both copying that lag, or is it just me from my end?
I get it every now and then. I
Yeah,
do
getting
get
it a
it
little
every
bit,
now and
yeah.
then. It's probably because I live in a country town and I barely get 1 bar of 4G.
Yeah, I don't get any 4G. I have to get bloody Elon Musk's internet.
Oh,
There it goes
God.
again.
So, yeah, we're all in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, every now and then, I don't know if you're faking it or if you're actually freezing, but you're doing the old. Actually, someone mentioned that to me at the track and said, "Oh, seem to have a lot of connection problems," but I didn't think it was that bad. But I think the last few we have. But you know, when people are in remote places or like Netherlands, different country, you sort of you got to expect a little bit.
Yeah.
What was that?
I said, kind of makes it hard when you got to deal with, interstate and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still magic that we can do it, and I think it's
Absolutely
better not being able to, and we get to talk about the sport we love, and it was really cool that you contacted me, James, and said let's have another chat. So
yeah, no,
we were talking about he's gone frozen again.
Has
Yeah, it's telling me my internet connection is unstable.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Darcy's fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. Well, it shouldn't be. It's right behind my head. Well, then maybe
it's because it knows when Darcy's starting to ramble towards the end.
Oh, nice, starting to pay me out. Pay me out on my own podcast.
You said I got to stop you, so.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Nothing much stops me once I get going.
No.
It's too easy to do.
Sometimes. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Is it?
I reckon so.
Yeah. I'm gonna go have a look what's under my seat.
Yeah, it's almost 10:30 for you. It's only 9:20.
Yeah. It's bedtime. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we might leave it there. I'll stop the recording and just hang on a second. So here we go, guys. Did a few interviews, as I said earlier, about walking around the pits, and you get a bit of a look. And if you're not watching on YouTube, you get a bit of, I don't know, shut your eyes and just imagine that you're walking through some horse stables filled with motorbikes and people running around, getting themselves organised. And we go outside a little bit. Get to talk to the development riders, the girls, Taylor Borshman. I think I like the name the Borshnader. I think maybe it's a bit wrong, I'm not sure, but I like it. And Kelsey Jensen, and yeah, they take us for a bit of a walk and have a chat, and we bump into a few other familiar faces to me and maybe new to you, maybe you know them, I'm not sure, and get to see how they were going on the day. There's nothing too full on, and I might play a race or so. I have to have a quick look through. There was one that I wanted to play, but I'll see if I can find it and add it in there. But enjoy. Macau, it's going to talk us through a track walk, aren't you, Brendan?
Yeah, I've got no idea where to go though. I'm the last person to do it.
Around in the circle, I reckon.
Yep.
It's pretty big track. I'll stop wobbling around. So we're on, I'm not sure where the start line.
It starts over there.
Oh yeah, so we're turn 1 and 2 at the moment. It's pretty wide. It's got an air fence, banks up and then flattens off up the top. So probably everyone keeps warning me to avoid that. So that will be the goal. Nice drive here, which is, it was good. So this one, we're all pretty excited, pretty nervous. Once you get, always nervous till you get the first practice out the way. But it's going to be a ripper. So we're doing practice today. Hopefully get a couple sessions, maybe not.
we'll just take it as it comes. Decided all our hair is out of whack and none of us are looking good. I'm here with Kelsey Jensen and Taylor Bushman in a stacked girls class. Sorry, my arm's not long enough. I should have brought my tripod.
That's alright.
Alright girls, so how are we feeling?
The wrist hurts.
Your wrist.
The wrist hurts.
You jump in there, we'll let age.
Oh wow.
I was going to say age before beauty, but that's not right either. Alright Taylor, well sorry guys. Yeah.
Alright, feels good to be here, that's one thing. But yeah, we'll see how the weekend pans out after the next couple of races.
Yeah, so your first long track event ever.
Yes.
A little bit intimidating, isn't it, at first?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, definitely. Big group of very fast girls, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, and so your focus is just small improvements.
Yeah,
and,
just getting more confident throughout the meeting and then see how we go.
I thought you had a cracking start.
Yeah, it was okay, yeah.
It's really good, so it's just
better.
corner speed that you work on.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
It'd be awesome.
Good.
And, alright, now you're up. Yeah, what do you reckon?
Oh, it's good fun.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's good to be out there, like with all the really fast girls. You know, you really get to see what it's all about, and just makes you want to work towards that, I guess. A bit of motivation.
Yeah, because
And I need to be a bit less harsh on myself because they're all, as Taylor said, very talented. Been doing it for ages, and it's like my second year, so I need to just relax and just work towards it.
yeah, well, Don Street gave us some advice before. He said if you're not having fun,
Yeah,
so
you
you
gave me a
gotta,
pep talk.
yeah, you've got to make sure you're having fun. And you know, it's your first long track event as well. I reckon you're both going awesome and should be really proud.
My first event at another track other than Broadwood, except for Aubrey, but that doesn't really
Yeah,
count.
so yeah, Kelsey had a bit of an off at Aubrey, and how do you reckon that played with your head and your confidence? Took a while to come back.
Yeah, massive impact. The anxiety was through the roof every time I came to the track. I was just like not really wanting to ride that much, which is not like me. I always want to get on every single practice, make the most of my day. But I just kept coming off, and I'm like, oh, I'm just tired and having a break. But no, it was just me avoiding the fact that I was getting anxious about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took me a while to get my head back in the game. I'm still getting there, but it hasn't impacted me today. I think it's just it's working my way about improving. Yeah, that's really
Yeah, and yeah, that's great that it's not affecting you today because it is a high speed event.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely don't want to be affected by
That was the last thing you want.
Yeah, so what's it make you think about doing more racing? Does it inspire you and make you want to travel more? Or?
Yes, I guess after this, I sort of want to ride at more tracks, like different tracks that are good for other types, like different layouts and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like it, so I'll be making my way to Orient this year, 100%.
Yeah, if it goes, I
Yeah,
think
if it
everyone
goes.
will be at Orient. And what about you, Taylor? What you've actually travelled a little bit. You did Forbes.
Yeah, did Forbes. I've been to Temora. I really love oil track. I would like to race oil track. That would be really nice. I'm not sure if I'll get the opportunity this year, but it's definitely one of the goals. And hopefully AFTN as well. I would like to do at least one round of that somewhere.
Yeah, cool.
Not sure where or when, but definitely this year would be nice. So yeah.
Yeah, well that's nice. So there goes another set of 19s.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, does Brendan know about this or are you going to use his?
Yeah, no, he knows. He knows. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
So,
Yeah, well, ladies, you're doing Kelpi proud. These guys both ride for Kelpi. This one and that one.
Yeah.
I need a wide lens or something. But,
You need like the 0.5 camera, so you
Yeah.
can just put it out.
What's that?
Well, it makes your head look really big and stuff. Yeah, I'll show you later.
Yeah, so I'm getting tech updates and advice, which is awesome. So have a great rest of the event. We might pop in again later. I'll see how we're going. Sounds like the racing's back on. So we'll go
Yeah, I
and
have
check
to go
some
work
out.
out when we're actually out next.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Catch up. All right, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you. Bye.
The girls are going to take us for a bit of a walk around the pits. This is not voluntary, it's quite forced. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So this is our pit anyway. We're in the stables. That's the streets there. I'll try to be as smooth as I can.
There's a lot of beautiful KDMs and Huskies in here. That's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
have a lot.
Yeah, I wonder who rides a Kato. So a few bikes are out on the track, obviously. Just going through the stables. It's leading us around to the area, I believe. There's it. Oh, not Taylor, she's in our pit, but Kelsey's.
This is the other half of the Harley Club.
Other half of the Harley Club and Aubrey Wodonga as well.
My bike's outside though.
Say hi, Mr. Adrian Leonetti. Have you had a race?
I have had a race.
What one were you in?
Pro 450s.
Heat 4 or something?
Heat 1.
Oh, Heat 1. And how did you go?
Fizzled the start, so started from towards the back.
Yeah.
Lost visibility by turn 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so your race was like my race.
Yeah, I guess that was.
Yeah, it was a stinker.
Yeah. So if I could get a better start, I'd be able to hopefully place a little bit better.
Yeah, me too. I exactly the same scenario.
Yeah.
And I had a fizzer at the start. They red flagged it. I had a better start, but it was still a fizzer. And I think I was second to last. Then I was gaining on the guy, and then a big dust pool happened. I just wasn't game to go through it without knowing where everyone was.
Right. The visibility's bad out there, isn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, good luck. I'll see you in the vets soon.
Yeah, the vet's on the first feed as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right, that's it, guys.
So that's Mr. Leonetti. Where are we going next?
My beautiful KDM that puts on the blue bikes to shade.
So that's Kelsey's bike. That's her boyfriend's bike. Dan Leonetti's there.
Yeah, ignore that one.
Good old Yammy.
No.
That's Adrian's over there.
My 250 got
Sorry.
My 250 didn't make it this weekend.
Yeah,
Sad about that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Do you think that you would have ridden better on that, or are you happy on the 450?
450 is actually a little bit easier to ride.
Yeah,
because
okay.
You can sort of get around the corners a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like they've got more power to just sort of.
Yeah, and if you make a mistake, you've got a bit more power to come back down the straight.
Out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas 250s, you make a mistake, you got to pay the money.
Yeah, cool. All right, you leading us a bit more?
I don't know where else to go.
I don't know. Let's go around and say hello to people. Taylor's trying to slyly get out of
You're
footage.
coming with me. Oh my god.
Come on.
Do you want to come?
No, I'm right.
So you're pretty busy in here, isn't it, Taylor? We're going to go have a look at the board,
Yeah, I think our race is up.
find out where our races are at. You're not up for a while because I will have to go out before you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We are in the pits, or like the outside version of the pits, where we line up and get ready for our races.
Yeah. So the dummy grid. We're in the dummy grid, and they're up to event 18 and 19. Again, Anthony. Mate, how'd your race go? You mind that I'm filming you? Hope
No,
not.
not at all. Yeah, no, I got to bite the dust, mate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Had a little KX250 wound up and 2500s and just stopped. Nowhere to go, so I cleaned one and...
Shit, you're all good there. You're smiling.
Mate, yeah. No, it's all good. If you don't taste it, you don't enjoy it.
Oh, I like your attitude. That's the way. So we've got the side chairs lining up.
Yeah. I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, no worries. Take it easy, mate.
Number 21.
So yeah, a lot of action going on, but not sure what we've got on the track at the moment. It's like 250 junior. we're here with Rob Griffiths. This is his bike. Yeah, so Rob, he's done everything the hardest way possible. Turned up to a practice day at Gunnedah with a knobbly front and a flat tyre.
Had the trials tyre on.
Yeah, and sort of got told of, you'd entered the 19s class, so that's why you were going there to get some practice.
Get some practice in.
And then realised that you actually needed a complete 19-inch wheel set.
Yep, and different tyres.
So we got you sorted out. You're here. You had practice yesterday. Are you still competing in motocross, or you're an ex-motocross guy?
I jumped in the deep end with motocross pretty much the same way as this.
Oh, right. So we're seeing a pattern arise here. Yeah, beautiful. And so you had practice yesterday. What do you reckon?
It's different. Like I've never had to ride so fast.
Yeah.
Like you definitely get pushed to your limits, but what you think is your limits isn't. Like you definitely. I reckon I was quicker by the end of the day.
Yeah. And you should find that through the whole meeting.
Yeah.
You'll get quicker and quicker. And the good thing I reckon with yesterday was that we sort of got 3 different track types. We got a perfect track, a wet track, and a pretty rough track near the end. Did you do the last one?
That was so rough, that last one. If you went the centre, it was just rutted out.
So it gave you a really good idea of what we might face later.
I was impressed with the tyres, how they don't make you stand up.
Yeah.
They'll just let you slide. So that was different. Like,
yeah, so that's pretty brave, man, jumping on 19s, never racing this before, because they do, you can 2-wheel slide a lot more.
Done that a couple of times, not on purpose.
Yeah, so you'll get comfortable with it. But, and that's why I think you're brave, because most people take a bit of time to get comfortable with it.
Oh, yeah.
You're just jumping in there and giving it a crack.
Yeah. Oh, I encourage more people to give it a crack.
Yeah, awesome. Well, have a safe one, mate, a good Bathurst, and we'll be battling in some of the classes, and I hope you have an awesome time and love our products.
Hopefully you get to see the back of the bike.
Yeah, let's hope not. A little bit of racetrack cheekiness going on here. He's not going to see it for a month. So this is Danley and Eddie. Say hello to everyone, Dan.
Hello.
And what are we doing here?
Oh, we're just writing a little note for Brendo for next time.
For next time when he goes to wash his bike?
Yeah.
What's the note going to say?
Well, I haven't decided yet. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to keep it PG friendly, but I feel like the message won't come across and it doesn't have profanities in it.
So how's your racing going?
It's alright. I'm just quite new to long track. So, I can't multitask.
Hey?
I can't multitask. Quite new to long track, so I'm just trying to figure everything out. Get my bearings together.
Yeah.
I just need to carry more speed into the corner.
And you're in the Pro 450. What other classes did you do?
Pro Open as well, or Open Unlimited.
Open Unlimited. So have you had 2 races already? You should have,
No, I've just had one.
Oh, have you?
First one today. Let's try these ones.
And your bike's going good?
Yeah, it's going alright. There we go.
So Dan's on a YZ 450 like mine, but he's got a 2118 setup. And mine's playing up a bit. I think my valve clearances might be needing work. Just the cold starting for some weird, which is normally hot starting. So this actually could be funnier than I thought, because Dan can't even get the seat off. Zane, what do you reckon?
I'm happy just watching.
Zane's going to break a rib with laughter. We'll come back in 45 minutes, see how you're going. So here's Zane's Kinder's Kawasaki's. We've got 19, he's very lucky, he's got 19 set up on one machine and 2118 on the other. Not like me, I have to change my wheel set. But it's good actually anyway, isn't it, Zane? Because the racing for 19s actually isn't till this evening. So
yeah, well,
later in the program.
Had I known that, I probably would have just all ran it on the 1/450.
Yeah, but
it is a bit easier having the 2 bikes. So,
yeah, you're covered. That's the main thing. So, so Dan's achieved the seat removal. How's your spelling, mate? Because if it was me, he wouldn't even understand what he was driving anyway.
Kiwi,
no, they're like dyslexia, Kiwi. You can call it whatever you want. You don't feel like it's enough?
What is
I feel like you're going to get busted. If you see this,
fuck.
Oh, that's not very mature. I thought it was going to be something a bit more mature than that.
There's two X's next to it, so it's like a little sarcastic comment.
I think it should be, you should realise how lucky you are to have Kelpi as your sponsor or something like that. So there should be something tied in there, shouldn't there?
What's your inspired?
Just going to save this for when I'm famous and I've signed it for him. So then realistically that'll go for about 10-15 grand in a couple of years' time.
So a piece of tape with Daniel Leonetti's signature is predicted to go for what? 15
about
grand?
10-15 grand, about
10-15 grand, yeah, right. So yeah, I'm not sure if he's dreaming there, folks. I think these young blokes got to dream big. That's the way.
So when we went to go pick up the trophies for...
We should put a lolly in there. He loves his lollies. There's in the esky. Hold on.
There's got lollies around here somewhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, snake. Snake.
What about this little...
Can't get in the airbox or anything from there, can it? No.
Hope not.
We're going to find out. Oh, Brendo, why did what blow up? Found a snake.
Well, we've got video footage too that you are on the new bike. Oh shit, he says. Alright, good job guys. Hooligans class. Shane Richards. Looks like a few hours in the garage spent there. We might film this race, I reckon. So we're sitting in the competitor stand here, just outside the pits. And there's general public, which is starting to fill up a bit, which is great. So we've got Henry Small here. How you going, Henry?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, how's your racing going so far?
Yeah, pretty good. Got about 8th in the last one. So feeling a bit comfortable.
And you're in the junior 250s, is that right?
Yeah.
Got that right?
Yeah.
And where are you racing from?
From Albury Wodonga Motorcycle Club.
And we did a bit of a podcast with your big brother. So any messages for him, like watch out, I'm coming for you? Or,
oh yeah, you better watch out, I'm pretty fast. I'll bang around a bit.
So is this your first long track?
We did it last year. And yeah, big improvement from last year.
Yeah, right. So just come in with a lot more confidence.
And with all the hype, the big crowd.
Yeah, it's an awesome environment, isn't it? The crowd's building. I'd say by night time, I've seen the 85 150s go by. I think by night time it's going to be pretty electric in the crowd. Thanks for chatting for me, mate. We'll catch up a bit later.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end, really. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, we'll hang out for the next one, and hopefully it won't be too far away. Just about to go on holiday, actually, funnily enough. You would think the racing was a holiday, but that wasn't enough. Got a little family one to Castlemaine. And how Aussie am I sounding there? Castlemaine. And yeah, just gonna chill with them for a few days. It's Labor Day weekend, and yeah, get some brownie points so I can go racing next time. So as always, guys, keep it sideways. Go flat tracker.
Go flat tracker, go, go, go.